Today I am going to discuss on the topic of criticism. What is criticism? Criticism is an evaluative or corrective exercise that can occur in any area of human life. Criticism can therefore take many different forms. How people go about criticizing can vary a great deal. In specific areas of human endeavor, the form of criticism can be highly specialized and technical. It often requires professional knowledge to appreciate the criticism. Criticism is also the study, evaluation, and interpretation of literature, artwork, film, and social trends. The goal is to understand the possible meanings of cultural phenomena and the context in which they take in shape. In so doing, it is often evaluated how cultural productions relate to other cultural productions and what their place is within a particular genre or a particular cultural tradition. Because many more people are able to travel to or have contact with worlds completely different from their own, new problems are created of how to relativize criticisms and their limitations, how to put everything into meaningful proportion. This affects what a criticism is understood to be or to mean, or what its overall significance is thought to be. Digital information technology and telecommunication have begun to change drastically the ways people have for getting attention or for being taken seriously. In turn, this has begun to change the ways the people have for going about criticizing and what criticism means for people. With more possibilities for sophisticated expression, criticism has tended to become more layered. Beneath the observable surface presentation of criticism, which is freely advertised, there are often additional layers of deeper criticism. These are not directly accessible because they require additional information or insight into the additional meanings. To gain access into the whole story about a criticism and not just part of the story may be conditional on fulfilling certain entry requirements. That is, if you don't have the ticket, you don't get the knowledge. Together with the ability to make finer distinctions of meaning with the aid of digital equipment, the possibilities of ambiguity in criticism have increased. Is a criticism being implied or is it not? And if so, what exactly is a criticism? It can more effort to unravel the full story. Now we will see the classification. Criticism can be directed towards a person or an animal or a group, authority or organization, at a specific behavior or at an object of some kind, an idea, a relationship, a condition, a process or a thing. Personal, delivered directly from one person to another in a personal capacity, or impersonal, expressing the view of an organization, are not aimed at anyone personally. Highly specific and detailed, or very abstract and general. verbal or non-verbal, expressed symbolically or expressed through an action or a way of behaving. Explicit, the criticism is clearly stated, or implicit, a criticism is implied by what is being said but is not stated openly, the result of critical thinking or spontaneous impulse. For an overview of criticism from particular political or philosophical perspectives, we have to see the varieties of criticism. For subject specific information, the critical pages on art, film, literature, theatre, and architecture. Now we will see the psychology portion of this. In general, psychology or criticism studies the cognitive and emotional effects of criticism, the behavior characteristics of criticism, and its influence on how people are reacting. Next field is the area of study. The psychology of criticism is primarily concerned with the motivation, the purpose or intent which the people have making criticisms, healthy or unhealthy, the meaning of criticism for the self, for others, positive or negative, the effect with criticism has on other people, good or bad, how people respond to criticism or cope with them negatively and positively, the quantity and quality of criticism required to be achieve the desired effect or outcome, the form in which criticism are delivered, effective or ineffective, how people learn to give and receive criticism successfully, the sublimation, repression or denial of criticism. Parents, teachers, lawyers, managers, politicians are often concerned with these issues because it can make a great deal of difference to how problems tackled and resolved. The motivation as well as the effect of criticism may be rational or it may be non-rational or arbitrary. It may be a healthy or unhealthy. When psychologists study criticism as a type of human behavior, they do not usually study it in general, such as general study is often considered to be more of a philosophical concern. Psychologists usually study it, the specific context and situations. The reason is partly technical. It is difficult to construct and prove universal generalizations about criticisms as a human behavior, and partly practical. It is more useful to understand particular behaviors which are direct practical concern. Next we will see the quality, especially educators, but also for example lawyers, managers, politicians are very concerned with the quality of criticism. People might raise all kinds of objections and criticisms, but how good are they? Criticisms can just noise. They can also be a nuisance if they are misdirected. They get in the way of getting things done. Good. Ideally, a criticism should be timely, not too early or not too late, brief and succinct, with a clear start and a finish, and not endless, relevant and to the point, not misplaced, clear and specific and precise, not vague, well researched, not based on the hearsay or speculative thought, sincerely and positively intended, not malicious, articulate, persuasive and actionable, so that the recipient can both understand the criticism and be motivated to act on the message. Next, we will see the techniques of constructive criticism. Techniques of constructive criticism aim to improve and behavior or the behavioral results of a person, which consciously avoiding personal attacks and blaming. The kind of criticism is carefully framed in language acceptable to the target person, often acknowledging that the critics themselves could be wrong. Insulting language and hostile language are avoided, and phrases are like "I feel" and "it's my understanding that" and so on. Constructive critics try to stand in the shoes of the person criticized and consider what things would look like from their perspective. Next, we will see the psychopathology. Psychopathology of criticism refers to the study of unhealthy forms of criticism and of unhealthy kinds of responsive to the criticism. Psychologists often associate with these particular categories of mental disorders, especially personal disorders, as classified in US Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. This manual is also used in other countries, although the forms of personal disorders can be somewhat different in different countries, reflecting ethnic differences and differences in social systems. Low self-esteem. Emotionally vulnerable individuals that are often excessively sensitive to the criticism or being defeated. They cannot handle it. Narcissistic personality disorder. Although they may not show it outwardly, criticism may haunt or leave them feeling humiliated, degraded, hollow, and empty. They may not react with disdain, revenge, narcissistic rage, or defiance. Narcissists are extremely sensitive to personal criticism and extremely critical of other people. They think they must be seen as perfect or superior or infallible, or else they are worthless. There is no middle ground. Paranoid personality disorder. These people are often rigidly critical of others but have great difficulty accepting criticisms themselves. Avoidant personality disorder. These people are hypersensitive to criticism or rejection. They build up a defensive shell. If the criticism seems to imply something bad about them, a defensive shell immediately snaps into place. Dependent personality disorder. Individuals that will often apologize and self-correct in response to criticism at the drop of a hat. Hypercriticism. These people are often regarded as anal retentive or nitpickers. Nitpickers engage in minute, trivial, and unjustified fault finding to excess. Nagging means endless scolding, complaints, and fault finding. Hypocriticism. These individuals are hypocrites who criticize and accuse others about the vice that they are guilty of themselves. Hypocrisy contains some kind of deception and therefore involves a kind of lying. Now we will see the purpose. Here is the purpose of criticism and its relative merits in particular situations are discussed. Negative arguments. Criticism may not be a positive response to an individual action or belief in all circumstances. There are two reasons that this might be the case. Number one is the recipient of critique may be hurt by it. This is particularly true when the object of criticism is personal, a political or religious belief, for example, or when the critique is composed in a malicious way rather than in an attempt to improve the recipient. The second one is the critique may not result in any positive change. If the critique is not written in a persuasive manner, if the recipient of the criticism is not willing to acknowledge their faults, or if the recipient lacks the resources needed for change, then the critic will not have an impact at all. Affirmative arguments. However, there are also significant reasons why a critic may be necessary or desirable in particular situations. Diagnosis and error correction. Critics identify the limitations of the object of criticism. A film critic, for example, might discuss the extent to which a particular film was able to communicate a theme. Criticisms also identify the prejudices, biases, and hidden assumptions. Improvement. By evaluating the ability of an individual action or idea of accomplish a given objective, critics identify possible alternative improvement areas. Criticism may also present alternative perspectives or suggestions, both of which facilitate improvement. Ethical implications. Critics of social norms or public policies have the potential to affect a large number of people in a profound way and are thus ethically desirable. Hope. This gives a wide range of topics covering criticism, how one takes the criticism in a positive way or negative way, and how it affects the personality. Hope you understand and appreciate the accomplishment of criticism in a public place or a private place. If you like this video, like it, share it, comment it, and subscribe. Thank you.